is up, wonderful world of YouTube? This is Cody here with another episode of Philosophize, and today I just want to talk to you guys about the concept of faith. I'm taking a break from the Bergsonian stuff. I have another video in the works for some applied Bergsonianism, so you guys can see how I cash out Bergsonism and how, to me, um, it yields some very great results that help to deal with some very old paradoxes. And that's all I'm going to leave you guys with, just a little teaser. So, often I see faith mainly by atheists and secularists of all kinds of. They say that, they try and make faith as if it's only something for irrationalists or religious people, and that faith isn't integrally linked with all kinds of stuff in our society. And I think that is just blatantly false. I think almost every action we take is predicated on at least some form of faith, whether it be, faith that people will eventually see my videos and like them, or faith that driving to work today I won't get smashed by a tractor trailer, or faith that this politician that I like is going to do what they promise me, even though usually politicians aren't too good at doing what they promise. But anyway, so yeah, I see faith really as integrally linked to the human condition, and I don't think that there's any way to get away from faith, and that's not a bad thing, alright? That it might even be a great thing. I think faith is incredibly useful, but I often see it disparaged, and I often see people who don't really seem to understand the concept of faith talk as if they do understand the concept of faith, which is always kind of strange to me. Like recently I was watching a video of a unnamed YouTuber, for now, who basically said that we should have reasons for faith, as if they don't understand what the concept entails. So if you have reasons for your faith, you don't have faith, you have reasons. I have faith in reason, but I don't have reasons for my faith in things, because faith is the lacking of demonstrative reasons, and therefore faith fills that gap. So I think that faith has gotten a bad rap in secular society and been tied to religion for some odd reason, as if it can only people of religious beliefs are people who act on faith, and I think most people should just understand that that's blatantly false. There is faith in every sect of society, and people act on faith all the time. People don't know when they go to college whether their college degree will get them a job, especially when you study something like philosophy, for me, or women's studies, or pick your humanities degree that people like to disparage. If you go and you get that degree, you have faith that it's going to get you something or be useful to you in some capacity. Maybe as myself, maybe you don't necessarily see education as a means to get a job. I certainly don't. I think education is great, and for education's sake, I think it's training the mind to think, and I think that's with philosophy that's applicable in all ways. And so I'm not necessarily worried if it's going to land me the $1 million job or anything. I just went to school to study something I was interested in and would help me grow as a person, and so far I think that's true. So this tying faith to only religion, I think, is very simplistic and just idiotic in a lot of ways, and is not true in any capacity. I think people have faith in all kinds of things that can't be demonstratively proven. That doesn't mean they're wrong, or that doesn't mean they're stupid. I think faith is, a part of everything, including science. So, before 1919, when Sir Arthur Eddington went out and on a ship and saw the eclipse, there was not really any proof that Einstein was correct, but yet Einstein still believed, or he had faith in, his hypothesis, because he saw problems with the other one due to the problems with after the Michelson-Morley experiment, which showed that light propagates the same speed in all directions, which wasn't supposed to happen according to like the mechanics of ether and all that. So, but before that, I mean, he was dealing with some problems, but he didn't know that his specific way of dealing with those problems was going to be the correct way, right? So he took it on faith. He had a belief in his hypothesis that he couldn't demonstrably prove until the evidence started to mount. The voyage of 1919 being one of those times when the evidence was. Darwin, he didn't know about genetics. That wasn't until Mendel. And so he had this grandiose theory, but he didn't know the mechanics of how the theory enacted itself in reality. And so, he took this on a certain degree of faith. I mean, sure, there was plenty of reasons to believe in evolution, and he laid them out, quite well in The Origin of Species, but he didn't have 100% proof. And, some philosophers that I'm very much interested in, some great philosophers of science, for those of you that are interested in this topic, Karl Popper and C.S. Peirce, C.S. Peirce being founder of pragmatism, which basically says, exactly this, that belief has a place in science and will never prove anything. Popper and Peirce were both fallibilists, so they both said that you can never prove anything in science to be 100% true. All you can do is prove things false. So therefore, the things that we take as facts shouldn't really be viewed in that way according to them. Now, this is a contentious claim. Many other philosophers of science think that we do prove things, and in this area, I think there's a bit of wiggle room. I don't necessarily agree that we don't prove things. I think we prove things to enough a degree that we can take them as fact. Like the Earth is round and stuff like that. But still, they're saying, like, look, it could always come out that from a higher dimension, the Earth really isn't round, it just looks round to us, or something along those lines. Like, there's always ways that the doubt can seep into your theories, and you just have to take what the best evidence is and make informed decisions. But again, you're making decisions with a little bit of faith mixed in there. So, that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to tell you guys, faith isn't something to be eschewed away from science or philosophy or any walk of life. Faith, I think, is necessary, and there will be no end of faith. There will be new forms of faith, and that's fine. I'm not saying anything against them, but to think that faith itself is going to disappear is a rather silly claim. In any respect, maybe particular faiths will go away, but faith itself will always be there. So, when you hear people disparage faith, atheists and stuff, realize that they're not on such sure ground either. Most science is, overturned or disproven as time goes on, so the things that we think today can be disproven 10 years from now. Who knows? So no one is really safe. No one has a safe space from faith. We all necessarily have faith in our lives and use faith every day. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's something to be championed, and you should always try and inform yourself to make the best decisions. But at the end of the day, there is a gap, and you have to, as the Kierkegaardian phrase goes, take a leap of faith, and there's nothing wrong with that, and it's a necessary thing. So thanks, guys. I'll be coming with more videos soon, so hope to see you. Peace out.